Hi, my name is Ryan, and today we're doing a review of the Luosjiet Service boots. We're going to see if this is the best boot value for your money. We'll go over what Luosjiet is all about as a company and each component that goes into it that we can find, and we'll see what you're really getting. So thank you for watching and enjoy the video. This Luosjiet Service boot is in their wine T-core leather, and I wore it for a day. So not much has changed with the boot. Really, it's holding up great as you would expect. But what I'll do with this is I'm going to wear this for 4 miles. I'm going to plan 4 miles of walking in this boot on concrete to help see how it breaks in over time and how really the components hold up over time. Now, that's not a comprehensive review and a long-term review, but it should give us an idea of how these hold up. So subscribe, and when I get that 4 miles done in these boots, I'll do an update, a video on this. But one problem with Luosjiet, and one of the main complaints I see online in the comments section, and I have for myself, is there's just not a lot of information on the website. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to jump on their website, we're gonna have to jump on their social media accounts, and we're gonna have to really dive deep in them, and then we're gonna be able to see what's really in this boot. And not all questions are answered, but I think it'll be good enough to get a good idea of this boot and its value. So let's start off by jumping on the computer. Let's do some investigative journalism on these Luosjiet Service boots. Okay, if you go on the website, here's the boot, great pictures of it and everything, but just not a lot of information. And you scroll down, you will see that my first video, the unboxing video, is located on their website, but I want to remind you I was not paid to review these boots. They simply gave them to me and let me say whatever I want to about the boot. So this was not a paid review, but they're so desperate to get some content out there, they would use my little YouTube channel. So I'm honored, but they'll probably jump ship from me pretty soon here. But really, all you get is this, wine T-core OTA cowhide, 7 brass eyelets, cork plus rubber outsole, Goodyear 360-degree stormwell. That isn't enough information to purchase a boot. So what I did is I had to dig a little deeper about the company. So first, we know the company is located in China, but an interesting thought about the company is the parent company. So the parent company of Luosjiet is this XBXS boots, and they make some super high quality footwear. I think so. I mean, the prices look like they'd be pretty high quality. But so this boot company started first making these really high-end boots, and then they started the Luosjiet or Luosjiet. There's a couple ideas of how to say the name. I think I'm just going to go with what it looks like phonetically for an English speaker because it just seems easier. But if I hear different, I will change. So, but they created Luosjiet to be more affordable, kind of the entry in to their company, which is a smart thing to do. But still, even these boots, they just don't have a ton of information on them. They're like, I mean, they have more, and you'd expect that for what they're charging, but I don't know. It's just not enough to me. So let's dive into their Instagram, their social media, and see what we can learn. The first thing, I really recommend you follow them if you're interested in buying a pair of their boots. I mean, why wouldn't you? Just follow them on social media if you have one, because you're gonna see a little bit more of how these shoes and boots are gonna break in over time, and you're gonna get customer shots of them to see what they look like on foot, which is really nice to see. Like, I wasn't really interested in the Iron Ranger clones, but man, they really look good broken in. So again, if you're thinking about the company, try to follow them. You'll learn some information like where they get their leather, right? Luosjiet, the main supplier, is from a company called Prime Asia Leather. So I'm not going to dive into Prime Asia Leather here, but they supply a lot of leather for a lot of big companies. So it is a reputable leather company that produces really high-end leather for Asia. So that's one thing that you'd learn on their Instagram. Another thing is you get a little sneak peek into their factory and kind of the working conditions, which I think these might be more staged working conditions, but that's okay. I mean, most companies will do that. But even the worker has the XBXS boot company shirt on, but you get to just see what it's like, how they're crafting the boots, which is really nice as a consumer, but we're still not really learning what's inside the boot. So we continue to look, and there's our first clue. We have the first shot of their veg tan insole with the gimming. That, of course, is what they use to sew the Goodyear welt. Now this is 270 degrees, so this must be for their Indiana Jones boots, but this is what you want to see. You want to see a full leather insole, and you're only going to learn this if you go on their Instagram account. Here, this has been kind of a unique topic. Here you see the Goodyear welt, and then what they use is latex filling instead of cork. Now this is a really interesting post because there's a lot of opinions about latex versus cork. I know I've seen some Truman boots use synthetic materials, some Vibergs use synthetic and natural materials other than just cork, what we're normally used to, and they've had good success with it. Matter of fact, Luosjiet claims in this last post, this guy wrote, "I don't know if latex is better than cork or not, but I have several cork-filled quality boots, and my Luosjiet Indy are as comfortable as those." And Luosjiet replied to this comment saying, "The cost of latex is higher, twice that of cork." And then this person said, "No cork filling." Luosjiet said, "Latex is better than cork." So I mean, that's their opinion. It's probably easier for them to put in, I'm assuming, but I have heard this beyond just Luosjiet, that cork and latex, like especially they talk about it being a natural latex in this comment. It's a natural latex being just as good. What I've seen with my boots that I've worn in pretty hard seems just as good, but I don't know. But here you're going to learn something about it. You also get to see how thick the welt is. This is how I knew there wasn't a midsole. So I thought by my last video when I unboxed them, I thought there was a midsole, but if you can see, the welt is just super thick. And then of course I contacted Luosjiet, and they told me, no, there is not a midsole in their boots. So that's a whole other thing that I might go into in this video, midsole or no midsole, but we'll see about that. And the last thing I want to look at is just their different styles, right? There's just a lot of different styles, a peek into their factory and a little insight of how these things are being built. So it's not a lot, it's still not a lot. Roseanneville really needs to do a cut in half, but now let's jump, examine the boots with the information we know now about them, and we can see how they stack up. I'm really trying to work on my lighting and everything. I'm trying to listen to your guys' recommendations to make this a better viewing experience. So here we see the boots, this beautiful wine teak core. I go way more into it in the unboxing video, but just really pretty. So now we see what this boot's made out of, right? We've got the rubber heel, we've got the rubber sole, then this thick welt, this storm welt, along with a latex filler inside and the veg tan insole. And let me get you a shot of that real quick. Veg tan insole, and it is lined in the vamp, lined on the tongue. It is not a gusseted tongue. I mean, I guess one eyelet, I don't know. Then you've got here, it's backed, and you have, of course, the half sock liner with what is a little bit of foam and their logo. The boot really just comes together very nicely. It is really almost flawless how they put this boot together. So you're getting such great quality in construction. You can tell that they come from a nicer boot brand because it feels like a much more expensive boot. For $199, and then you can get that $10 coupon. I mean, this is such an amazing deal, and these things are just gorgeous. And that is like the stupidest thing I could say, right? They're just gorgeous. I love them, and really not explain why, but really when it comes to boots, it is such a weird emotional connection we get with good quality footwear. We can either love it or hate it, how it feels, and these are just amazing. I am a big fan of these guys, and I'm not paid to say that. They're beautifully constructed. This wine teak core is just gorgeous in real life. Obviously, the camera doesn't do it justice, but it's just a beautiful boot, and I can't wait to see how these break in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a lot of time with these things. I'm going to put at least 4 miles on concrete to see how these mini lugs break in, to see how the leather breaks in. Right now it's very stiff. So one thing about T-core leather is it's often a veg tan leather. Sometimes it's chrome tan. You can usually tell if it's chrome tan because it will go a little bit lighter. So I'm not sure. Of course, that's one of the mysterious things about Luosjiet. They don't give you all this information, but this stuff is so stiff. It feels like a veg tan leather. So that means it's really going to break in beautifully, and we'll get to see a little bit more of that in future videos. But all in all, it's just a gorgeous boot. For the value, see, it's an emotional thing, right? So when I 1 out of 10, I mean, this is like an 8.5, because it is such a pretty boot. It's so outstanding that I have this emotional reaction to just how well it's built and how beautiful it is. And so I give this an 8.5, which is just great value. I mean, for $189 with that coupon, you're getting a boot that it looks way nicer than that. So really love it. I should probably get some more Luosjiet boots, maybe reach out to them, see if they'll send me any more. But I do have other shoe companies that I'm going to be working with. So I've got Craft and Glory, another company that they're going to be sending me their boots, and I'm going to do these reviews on for these more affordable style boots, because I think they're just a great spot in the market for these. They're just really pretty. Not everyone has $700, $800 to spend on a pair of Vibergs or Whites or Nicks, so going with something like this is a really good option. So I'm going to do a little bit more modeling around in these boots so you guys can see that, and we'll end the video. So thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one, and we'll update you with 4 miles on these boots, and we'll also have more boot reviews for the affordable price range shoppers coming soon. For some reason, you don't see this a lot in videos, but I love the top-down look just because it's what you see, right? I mean, you're not the one looking at it from afar. This is the view of the boot that you see. One thing I will say is what's pretty disappointing is the shoelaces. These are the same exact shoelaces that come on the Indiana Jones boots, at least the ones that I purchased. And man, you could have gone with such a better lace for these boots. I mean, anything would be better than these almost brown laces on this wine T-core leather. So not the best thing there. And like I said, these aren't perfect boots. They have things like the seam in the welt that some people just hate. It's not like you can see it from afar, but just, they're not perfect boots. Laces could be better. A lot of things could be better with these, but they're gonna break in nicely. I can just tell.